something broken at the heart of British politics, how a pro-Brexit majority elected by the people in terms of the House of Commons passing the internal market bill, the majority of 84, is being dissected and rejected time and time again by huge majorities against it in the House of Lords. Going to bring you all the very latest, guys, but please remember, as ever, to hit that subscribe button and the bell. Hit the thumbs up button to support the video, and of course click join if you want to become a supporter. Would really appreciate your support for real news. Now, I've reported previously on the channel some of the outrageous votes that have been going on in the Lords. Now, the internal market bill, the UK internal market bill, of course, cleared the House of Commons with a majority of 84. It's already gone through the House of Commons, and yet it's gone to the Lords, and you've seen some of the recent votes on it. I mean, there was one with a majority of 268 against the government. This whole thing is completely out of control. And we see today, starting off with Huffington Post UK, Boris Johnson has suffered yet another Lord's defeat over his Brexit plans as Tory peers rebelled against an attempted power grab over devolved nations. Peers voted 367 to 209. See what I mean? It's not even close again. For a cross-party amendment that would prevent Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland from being bypassed once the UK's transition period out of the EU ends on the 31st December. The latest rebellion guts another key section of the PM's landmark Internal Markets Bill, which has already suffered one of the biggest defeats in the Lords in history over its provisions. Now, of course, I'll reiterate it again. This is something that has been championed by Boris Johnson as being very necessary moving forward. It's been voted for with a majority of 84 by MPs in the House of Commons, and yet time and time again now you're seeing these huge Lords defeats. And don't think this doesn't have a wider impact. Just look at from the EU side. Look at what Politico are reporting. UK Brexit power plan defeated in the House of Lords. It is yet another defeat, they report, for the government on the controversial internal market bill. Boris Johnson's government, they say, suffered 2 fresh defeats in the House of Lords over plans to transfer EU laws to the UK statute book once the Brexit transition period ends. Peers voted 367 to 209 for an amendment that ensures a previous method for repatriating market rules, which requires consensus from all 4 UK nations, remains in place. They subsequently defeated the government by 327 to 223 on a separate amendment to reduce the ability of government to tweak the law with little scrutiny by Parliament. We see these huge Lords votes going against the government time and time again. Is this really sustainable? Let's just look at this. Paul Waugh of Huffington Post tweeting, Boris Johnson suffers another huge defeat of his Brexit bill, 367 to 209. And when you just look at the composition of what is going on here, of the 367, you had 147 Labour, 81 Liberal Democrats, which is just ridiculous, and 15 Conservative rebels. 209, you had 190 Conservatives, but completely outvoted time and time and time again. And then there was another defeat of the government on the same bill, amendment to curb the power of UK ministers to change the legislation, passed by 327 votes to 223, a majority of 104. And in that vote, of the 327, it was 148 Labour, 79 Liberal Democrats, 9 Conservative peers. And of the 223, well, you had 194 Conservatives, the likes of Claire Fox and Kate Hoey. But yet again, the government completely and utterly outgunned when it comes to votes in the Lords. And I reiterate it again. Is this really sustainable at the heart of Westminster to see time and time and time again huge defeats, over 100 plus, way over some, going against the government for something that MPs have voted for and passed with a large majority of 84. Surely something has got to change here. But look, as I've said many times before, let me know what you think in the comments. The government really have 3 choices, don't they? They can either keep getting outvoted and outgunned and massive defeats in the Lords for years to come. They can flood it with pro-Brexit peers, or they can reform/abolish the Lords and use a form of proportional representation to actually enhance British democracy, rather than having this bizarre system where the government time and time again are suffering heavy defeats. Let me know what you make of the House of Lords, guys. Let me know what you think about these latest votes, And of course, as ever, if you want to support the channel, please give this video a big thumbs up. Click join to become a supporter. And of course, as ever, thank you so much for watching.